on the verge of the retirement once the calendar year ticks over. I mentioned before, we're going to bring you a host of interviews throughout tonight's coverage, and the next of them, Cat, has Paul Abella, and he's got one later on the night who's a bit of a question mark over his preparation coming in, and also the superstar in McKenna.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, joined by Paul Abella, and we'll touch on your runner in later tonight as before we kick off talking about McKenna. And West Star goes around in race number 11, and a bit of an interrupted preparation for this fella. It's the first start in about 5 or 6 months, so just talk us through the issues, because there's obviously some ability there, but he's been off the track for quite some time.
Yeah, he's a good pup. He hurt a wrist when he won at Sandown. It's just taken forever to come back, but he's going good. That's why I brought him straight here into the city for his first start back. So box 7's not ideal. It's a pretty hard race. I didn't expect it to be that hard, to be honest, but the dog's going very well.
Before the break, we saw some nice winning form from him, but do you think the break's done him any good maturity-wise as well as he's seasoned, or do you think it's still in front of him learning how to race and be competitive on the racetrack?
Yeah, he definitely matured. He's a nice pup. Depends how far he can go. He's got a bit of speed. He went 5:02 last start at Sandown winning when he broke down. So if he does that again and he keeps improving, who knows?
Obviously fitness is going to come into it, and there's no substitute for match fitness, is there?
Nah, correct. You can trial him as much as you want, but this race, whatever he does today, it'll take him a couple more runs, and then I'm looking to go to Adelaide with him, so for the Derby. So we'll see how we go.
Now, one that's not going to Adelaide is McKenna, of course, the kennel superstar. She's back at your place after being up north with Daryl and Michelle. Just talk us through the decision to decide not to go for the Nationals, because she's had a busy campaign, hasn't she?
Yeah, well, she hasn't really missed it. Like when we started, hurt herself and sent up to Daryl. We won the egg, and then we brought her back for the Sapphire, and probably bad move because she didn't settle straight back in, and then we send her back. So she's been up and back a few times, and I just decided she loves winning. $1 million is better than 75,000 in Adelaide. So she's about 2 weeks away. She'll be racing probably here. We'll give her one or two starts, and then I'll send her back for Daryl for the $1 million race, and then come back for the carnival.
Even Daryl and Michelle said that it took her a while to settle in when they went up to Queensland, even though she'd been with them for quite a while. And there were plenty of knockers that came out of the woodwork after her. But it must have been so satisfying for you to see her not only come out and win that match race, but then set 29-6 on Brisbane Cup final night as well.
Yeah, people tell me she's a Wentworth Park bandit, but she broke the Ipswich record, Shepparton record, but people want to knock the good dogs. But what people don't realise, the good dogs bring the people to the track, and they can knock her as much as they want. She owes us nothing, and mate, we love her to bits, and whatever she does. But I'm not scared of any dog with her anyway.
People say that as well. Like, I guess they want to knock the dog, but they forget at the end of the day they're a dog. They're not a machine, are they?
Yeah, exactly right. We put them in a box, and sometimes us humans wake up and we don't feel 100%, and we expect the dogs to be 100% all the time. And look, in 9 starts we've had her, and I don't know how much money she won for us, but she's been brilliant, and she's quick, and that's the way people are in this game. They just want to knock the good dogs, but you know what? Everybody in Australia would want her. So
that state of origin, we must have been really special, because I know there was such a close connection with everyone involved in her and Terry as well. Yeah,
it was. When people laugh at me, I actually enjoyed the state of origin more than the egg, because not being cocky, but people said we're just going to win the egg. But everybody said we couldn't beat Jay, the champ. He's the track record holder. McKenna's not going good, but we knew she was going good, and we beat him fair and square. And I actually enjoyed that more than the Easter egg.
Have you felt like the pressure's been off you a little bit because she's been with Daryl and Michelle? Have you been able to enjoy it a little bit more?
Actually, there's more pressure now, because now she comes back to me, and some people say, oh, she goes better for Daryl and Michelle than me, but George, the owner, mate, there's no pressure. She owes us nothing, and she wins, she gets beat. As long as she pulls up all right after the race, that's all we care about.
I bet you're excited to unleash the machine in a couple of weeks' time at Sandown Park.
Yeah, can't wait. So she'll have her first trial back on Tuesday, and then she'll have a couple of trials, and then she'll race one or two here or Sandown. Haven't decided yet, and then we'll go from there.
Well, the $1 million chase, we say it like it's months away. I guess it is, but comes around so quickly just because of the series design as well, all those provincial venues that you can go to, and it is only around 8 weeks away, so before we know it, we're going to be at $1 Million Chase final night, and hopefully she's there.
Yeah, well, it actually snuck up on us. Funny you say that, because we're looking at a couple of tracks, and it's end of August, and we're halfway through July already, so we're going to try and qualify early, and then we'll qualify, and if we do miss out, at least we can go for the last qualifiers. So she loves the place. We've got to give her best chance, so she'll go back to settle up with Daryl and Michelle. I can't complain the job they do for me. So it's a team effort. Everybody's involved, and I love it, so it's great.
Well, as you said, she's a draw card and a bona fide star of the sport, so we can't wait to see her back on the track and hopefully up there mixing it with them on $1 Million Chase final night.
Yeah, we just can't wait. $1 Million, then hopefully come back, Top Gun, fingers crossed, Phoenix. People are talking to us. Nothing's cemented yet, but it's promising, mate. Gets me out of bed every morning. It was good to have her home, and she's settled right back in. It's been brilliant, so can't wait.
Well, there you go, boys. That's the update on McKenna and what she's up to ahead of the $1 Million Chase, and it's exciting to know what's going on with her, and hopefully it's not too long before we see her back on the track.
She's an absolute jet, as we know. She's got the egg on her resume now, but if she said recapture that form consistently, who knows what's capable in the long-term future for McKenna. Back here behind the boxes, I'm joined by Corey Hiscock, who's the track manager here at the Meadows. Corey, firstly, welcome in.
Thanks, Jason.
We've spoken a couple of times about last week's conditions. It was rain. From a track point of view and how you prepare it, does anything change throughout the night when you do get consistent and light rain like we had last week?
Certainly light rain's probably the most difficult to deal with because it'll tend to sit on top of the surface rather than wash the surface down. So probably the only subtle change on the night is we won't actually broom the track, we'll just mat the track level. So we're not trying to agitate the surface.
And when you say broom, how would you explain?
So when we're levelling the track in between races, it's a set of brooms that basically agitate the sand.
Attached to the tractor.
And there's a matting process behind that. That means that sand then gets to fill into all of the paw prints and give us a nice level surface for the next race to be run on. So on a wet night, the track will become slightly more pliable, so it doesn't need to be agitated. We don't want to make it any softer than how we're leading into the race meeting under preparation.
Yeah. And since then, obviously this week's been dreadful as well. It has not stopped raining. So do you actually have the chance to get on it? You would have had trial sessions, but is there much work that needs to be done when you do have that rain in the way?
It doesn't vary a lot. Certainly there might be major maintenance that we don't undertake in wet weather, which is harrowing and so forth. But for example, I watered the track this afternoon because the sand that we use, I'll reverse engineer this. In summer, we prepare a winter surface. So we actually have the track full of moisture to run on it. So through winter, if I prepare the track exactly the same, rain won't really have much of an effect on it. And generally, the heavier the rain, the better the track will be. It'll stay relatively together. But yeah, the light rain is more difficult to deal with.
And I know you've got to go, so what are we dealing with at the moment? How do you describe the surface that we've got for tonight's card?
So today we've had 9 mils of rain on it. It's now, there's intermittent showers during the meeting. We've had probably another mil since the start of the meeting, but the track, the Meadows drains really well. I've sort of got a really good drainage system put in place, and it can handle sort of a mil per hour really well. It doesn't really degrade the track much at all. So I don't prepare an overly fast surface generally at all times, so I don't prepare tonight's meeting any differently because it's a Group 1 meeting as far as I'm concerned.
There's a theory of that, I don't know, for the years that the Group 1 meetings are treated differently to what the rest are, but it's just simply not the case.
No, so we have diagnostic data of the track when we run on it all the time, and it's no secret that there's a track rating system that we have at GRV at the moment, which one day soon will go public, but I generally prepare a soft 6 or a good 5 surface. Tonight's a soft 6, and for context, my last 26 race meetings have been soft 6. So I'm preparing mainly for welfare, not so much for times. I don't really care what times the dogs run. What I do care about is that a dog that runs 30 dead around here will run 30 dead no matter the conditions and no matter what week it is.
Yeah, and for all those reasons, exactly why you are, and the club is considered some of the best preparators and probably the best across the country. So thanks for joining us, and
thanks,
enjoy
Jason.
the rest of the night.
Thanks, mate.
Corey Hiscock there, the track manager here at the Meadows.